anytime two state institutions get themselves into the arena of boxing, it tells you that administration is boxed. Run away. Because when that Pandora box is opened, maggots, snakes, tigers, lions will come and consume your life and your future. Pacho, do you remember before the All African Games, I came here with the documents telling you that thievery, corruption, devastating denigration of our future as a nation is being deployed by this administration. A lot of people thought that I was just shouting. They forgot to understand that there's danger ahead of us. Fast forward. Today, you have heard, you have seen, and you have read the confusion that has ensued between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and that of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the national broadcaster. You know what that means? You and I are not safe. And that is why I keep telling you, I will be a political fool to believe that after 400 and over years of slave trade, that is why we are not progressing. That is not correct. You see, let me give you this. Anytime you want to align, make sure your alignment will not become a malign. We align not to malign our future. So anytime you see any alignment that is being proposed to malign your future, it means that there's danger in between. That's why I keep telling you, every position, if you are a woman or a man, anytime you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, you have a fiancé, you have a wife, you have a husband, every position requires a repositioning so you can be able to understand the rudiments of whatever is happening. Ministry of Youth and Sports, and then only GBC, and I've told you before, take it again or leave it. I don't care about that one. I know what I know. Say China, Waji ECG. It's an established fact. Nanado Baumia, Chief of Staff, Asante Medietuo, Finance Minister, former and the current, and everybody in the circles of the cabinet of this administration, they have sold the electricity company of Ghana to China. Take it or leave it. So we are paying 3 times our normal consumption. The reason is that China or GCC are buying Nisiko di Betua. And IMF is also asking Ghana to pay and have a discussion with its creditors. School Bako. Headmaster Nafro said, won't be in about the school fees. Nemum to Milkana ne wonwa, what do one canon? And quatra saying, said a bay jao kakra, the way to be trio about the school fees. Then a chre, the extra want to say, about the school fees now won't be in Triano, one what do one canon at Tamasum. So now China is actually in charge and managing our power. Why is this? Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, an innocent young man. The scenarios, a large scenario. Ne papa, and a copper yere, Ebre Kwame Nkrumah, Fathia, Rahina, ono ne right hina ne REA I den kroma so no so a be ka kire yen say fatia fatan kroma no alaji sinari ne papa ne mame ne kopel ba no from Egypt bre kwa me kroma. If you don't know, I'm telling you today. That young man, Kwame Nkrumah, saw the need to consolidate our effort and our strength, our ability and capabilities to be able to rebuild and build a nation that is full of ourselves, and we will be able to manage it and move forward. So he says that the African can manage his own affairs. Today, as I am talking to you, Ghana cannot manage her own affairs. IMF, the World Bank, and other creditors are holding to ransom our destiny today and the years ahead of us. But I want to sit in this blue, beautiful, innocent chair to tell you, we will recuse and we will rescue, we will move, we will target and actually deliver ourselves from these oppressors. And then ECG, China na di new meters aba. Ya bebo meter wo fie na ndi ibosum mienu. What was an ye be ka kire say ya san ba say ye be sesa wo meter. The enti ye sesa wo meter ne say me and Tai ye de beja wo daache. Anytime you meet a tallying image, make sure you can actually see yourself in it. If that cannot be found, then what it means is that your future has been meted by those you call your leaders. Fenotonchai. Makacho said China, Beji GBC. Madika Kacho Biom said China, Beji Kwa, your friend saying, Temahabo, my dika catch the wall. Did that MPP 4 year? Our Murefisa Kufuado Teho. Eyina sen say. Ya tong Ghana. And I mean you see the word Achim mafias. Some Chebi mafias. They don't love this country, led by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I sit here and I don't care what happened to me after this show. Nanado is a nation wrecker. The current president we have, he is a devil incarnated nation wrecker. He and his cronies, he and his cohorts, he and his apparatchiks, what they want to do is to keep Ghana in a box, keep the keys, and decide when to open the destiny of this nation. And this is very detrimental to anybody living in this land. I did not use the word living on this land. I am using in, because when you are in any nation, it's a bed. I go to bed, he is still in bed. They have nothing to offer, and they have actually proposed, propound, and projected their pudding, Baumia, to take over from them so that they can keep whatever they have done, intend to do, their projections, and kill virtually every other family in this country for good. So somewhere me can chia, ya be fremi, me can chia, when you be to me can brofo. Once I me can brofo, until ubo and some mammy could go to brofo. You see how foolish we have become. Men can chia. And listen, they have actually used a very beautiful cloth to wrap their rod so you can see. So today, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, a cabinet ministry, is fighting with a miserable sector, enterprise of a nation. GBC. I say, me can't some chrewa, opa, TME, opa, jai. I kept fighting with my own sports crew that I know what I know. I am the only person that understands what I've read and seen. And I knew that there's danger ahead of this country. But let me once again assure you that there will be a new Ghana. A new Ghana that you'll be part of. A new Ghana that you are involved. A new Ghana that will not run away from you. A new Ghana that you can still hold that old wagon and tell us that put the red color here, put the green color here, put the gold color here, and rebuild this noble, beautiful country and make it better for all of us. And then, Ministry of Youth and Sports, almost a name. Minister say, Wakotna Public Accounts Committee, yay all African Games. Media House is a organ in an per rights from GBC. GBC say on your da. Me mean slow as some count. GBC said no. It's GBC monopolized the broadcasting of whether all African Games or whatever. Me bahabe catch sports for the say. Asamwo now I say me boy. Besi na me no ka say hotels African countries ne beda ya. Ya me ye sikanya besia say yem fan host no. Besi ne I still have those documents abino ya ye all African Games wie bebia Nigeria da ye Burkina da ye wan da ye wan da ye unim say Nash besi ne muntuai. Meanwhile, this government spent over $300 million. I am daring the sports minister, come and sit here. Go to any other TV or radio station, invite me, and I'll come and meet you one-on-one. And I'll point to you that all you and whoever in this administration are nothing but thieves. You guys are thieves. You remember I came here to tell the sports guys that you entry a GBC car. Na GBC for document na. HSA yetria wonkano a chrono document. GBC entry aneka. I was called by a manager in this house. Ujafu. Men to asubium na. Why we are die about African Games and I bebo bibia GBC the beno. Say kwa kope right I am fam my meboa openi wo hame. Wa pepem ha say ya pakakra. Uhume. And pay a. But I stood my ground because I know the nonsense that I was talking about. Until was the last 3 days? The sports minister appeared before the parliamentary select committee on the public accounts committee of parliament. Yebusa finance minister say, sports minister. Say brapeni GBC. Sports minister say they have paid Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in excess of $3 million. Watch this. Sir, right now, GBC. Mr. GBC is a camera ben or call him Kuchae. GBC camera no. Even 580 krano muntiminya. Enti adiano na shemfinfin. TV no. Wosha bonkum tum nifa. Tum apempem, tum aseho, tum utem finfin, kete. Edu baby dey here na ya dwen say GBC. As we use camera ba kope e na etwa all Africa. Hey, we mutimi pane. I say bodani a we hu anka. Boom, near the akwoto obi so. Pacho, Mame Public Accounts Committee video no. Nyame na me kan tie waso.
With GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million.
Excess of 3?
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million yes. for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid. You had an arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million yes. for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid. You had an arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million yes. for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who work.
Thank you. I must say this to whoever, from my producer to my director to switchers to whoever in this house. I am not a fool just to open my mouth to say things I do not have evidence. And you see, I was insulted by a certain man in this house who called me and said that, what do you have to say that the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the money paid by the Ministry of Youth and Sports is a fiasco? It's not true. And they were paid less than $200,000. No, be with me, called me, looked me in my eyes, started insulting me at the big office in this house. The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, I'm sorry. I am sad not because of the story. I am sad because almost every other person in this country, people are just mediocres. People are just interested in protecting their businesses without protecting the future of this country. And that is what gets me mad and sad. Sebed and the GBC. Ministry of Youth and Sports, a over 3 million. I said this on air with the sports guys, and I was calling, and I wish you were there. How this man looked me in the eyes and spoke. I respectfully said, sir, we live to see. He again reported me that I've threatened him. I knew what na me nim dia make agiba kojo na me nim asemwa make no aya nkrofo adwe ye omo say yes sorry ne ya betna ha ne ya betia tiem na ye ko. Listen, I am not Ghanaian because I was born here, but it is because Ghana was born inside of me. I know the nonsense I was talking about. Sir, today can you call me again and say what? Watch this. When I said that on air, I knew, sir, GBC director was called to a meeting to by force accept that he has been paid over $3 million. And the man said, I cannot succumb to that rubbish. You can choose to sack me. I am a professor. Sack me. And Asembia Makawahano, time and event is confirming whether I was just ranting or I was planting a seed. Look and listen to me carefully. Akufado, oyeme na Kwaku Bichem ankampeu, even though Kwaku Bichem is older than him. Me na we did 103. Baumia, oyeme wafa Kobenebo ankamepe. Even though Kobenebo is older than Baumia. So do not sit in that maggot-infested imagination of your brain to think that I just come here and open my mouth and say things. If I don't have a shit, I don't sit. Camera technicians are Kocha, all African Games. More than 10, they came to me. They called me and I drove straight up to SARS Sports Stadium now, Kufosha. I met some of them. Based in the Ghana Police Service in Triawomuka. Based in the hotels in Triawonka. How would you want to disgrace a noble nation like Ghana to this magnitude? And you think that everybody should shut up in this country? And I am surprised. J. Kufuor, with all due respect to you, Dad, you've been quiet for quite too long. Daddy, with all due respect to you, I love you and you know I do. Papa, you have been quiet for quite too long. Krobe asante kotokoro tumfo say to baby omiru mama muso wada ma chebru. Ohere why you din ache toto. Gamanche. Yes. Aban bi aba or the gamanche ba. Ebia na usuro say this ba om the gamanche be for from eba. Nti ebia usuro so be kasa. But gamanche, you've been quiet for quite too long. Paramount chiefs in this country. As for the media, we are as corrupt as more than the definition of the word corrupt. Forget about the media. Mena me catch up. Mr. Ghana and Central Jumano are corrupt. Eti, but penifo amuwo memu ha mo kasa ye nananu ma hemfo. Where are you? And no man ba ko send me message. Okachem said, now I understand you. The same omahene, no one in penny for Abomibia. Some are casting the chrome coin yet. Yamina knew Honana. Yakupon wine you. Where so what check what to minima utum a restaurant from her. Yankupon, Yamion Pelto. Yakupon yege. Afei sports minister kasa wie me didi asem no ye yenkofa GBC MD no response. You see, he's been paid in excess of $3 million. Excess of 3 billion can be 3.1, 3.2, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 10. Excess of 3 million. And yet something above 3 million, no, excess of $3 million. And when I came here, I was talking. A lot of people thought that I was just hallucinating. I was not hallucinating. I knew the nonsense I was talking about. Because if I don't have a shit, I don't sit. I have decided to end my career in broadcasting. And I'll come back to tell you tomorrow when I want to quit broadcasting. I'll quit. Take this from me. Tomorrow when I come, I'll tell you I want to quit. Me. I want to quit. Honestly, I want to leave. I know your heart has started panting. You started panting, but I want to quit. Auntie B, I want to leave. Niyama, I want to go. Auntie Ama, I want to leave. Kwame came to me and said that my path is your path. But your fact will not be their fact. So prepare your ass and prepare your arsenals. Get ready for the battle. It may not seem too easy or smooth, but how rough will become will tell the laugh you would have at the end of the day. This is what he told me just last night. I want to quit. I want to go. I want to go. If you don't see me again, don't be sad. There's a better angle for our triangle to show the area of which angels can meet our angle of failure and help us to succeed. Listen to me carefully. And then, after the Minister of Youth and Sports, Kasawi, GBC, that, but your video now ready now. No, it was not a press release. I got a video. I'll send it to you. If you don't have it, no problem. Relax. I want a video to be played. Don't tell me anything about any document. If you don't play, I get up and go home. That's a fact. Man can't trust me. And you see, and then, anytime I am vindicated, I quit. Now, what's that here? No one dream. No one who say, and ya kwakurabia n'intimi nkura ne ho. Nkwakurafo ni bi wo ho a. O phone so bo. GBC Managing Director, Intibo. GBC Director, after Sports Minister, these two guys, they are all in the same administration. Both were appointed by the president. Papa say, hey, debut, and you skabia. Yeah, both video ni we are. May the contractor Ministry of Youth and Sports in GBC sign it, but to TV so. What your name is Ajay? May the contractor but to TV so. But video no.
The benefit total payment to GBCs for GBC's benefit, I repeat, was $105,000, and that is what we got.
Now, but does GBC have any evidence to back what you're saying? Because I mean, the minister is the one in charge. He has made a statement.
Of course.
What evidence do we have?
We definitely have enough documentation. These monies are not paid in bags; they are paid through the bank, and they are indicated what the money is for. And before we do that, there's a letter we will receive from the ministry telling us whose payment it should be for. And so we don't act on our own, we act upon instructions. And that we have all the documentations, and we have everything in place to show that these monies, you see, public funds are not easily disbursed like that. GBC needs $3 million to do a lot of things. And if we got the $3 million, we would have gone ahead to start spending on GBC's needs, including procuring an OB van. We didn't get that money.
TV so kasei or a professor. Sabe mimi we a Pam Secondary School. Eti answer na be mu say Ghana Broadcasting Corporation MD bekwa ko gina ni TV so to refute something by a cabinet minister. It means that Adiano Amen Papa no. Share wotie asem na papa ne beka ya Ministry of Youth and Sports Dibirka issue statement, but before for GBC statement na omo no to TV ne so the almost papa ne sign ya omo ko edit ye de foforo buy no me pede de wo ho no na ye original mo we foforo buy. We are from the Office of the Director General, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Broadcasting House, PO Box 1633, Accra, Ghana. August 2024. Honorable Chairman, Public Accounts Committee, Parliament of Ghana, Accra. Dear Honorable Chairman, payment for African Games and 2 technicians. Kostro kakrane munda hona menkai. Medja the management of Ghana Broadcasting Corporation wishes to respond to 2 statements made at the 20th August 2024 sitting of the Public Accounts Committee as a public interest questions which was broadcast live. Per an agreement with the Ministry of Youth and Sport, GBC, as the official broadcaster, was to supervise the technical production teams that were to bring into the country their own production equipment and to undertake the production of the African Games. It is important to clear that GBC was the official broadcaster, but not responsible for the technical production of the games. The technical production was outsourced as GBC did not have the equipment to produce the games. The following organizations were responsible for the technical production. PGS, 1. 2. Quality Media Production, SL. 3. The Production Room, TPR. Echna meba metro baby asa group penis in a free nipa ye one day and didn't say a bind sika ma say mum and mum produce sa all African Games ni enja GBC a ono na ye the nation's national broadcaster ade see a nine so no the entia aban we emu nkrofo tam deal no command nipa foforo banka se fa baby ya sign ne bra fa document ne santo so. That's it. Of the total payment made for the games, GBC was only 10 years. GBC was only entitled to $105,000. Therefore, the statement that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million comes as a surprise. The Honorable Samuel Nate George, member and MP for Ningo Prampram, also stated that most of the technicians who worked on the African Games have still not been paid. GBC wishes to put it on record that there are no outstanding payments to local technicians who were engaged by GBC to work on the African Games. Mr. Director, all payments to local service providers have been effected. GBC staff who were deployed were paid a daily subsistence allowance of 100 Ghana cedis each on location. It should be stressed that only staff who were at games locations were paid. Game locations were paid. What about the other technicians who were not at the games locations but were employed for the same services? GBC wishes to put it on record that there are no outstanding payments to local technicians who were engaged by GBC to work on the African Games. All payments to local service providers have been effected. GBC staff who were deployed were paid on daily basis subsistence allowance of 100 Ghana cedis each on location. It should be stressed that only staff who were at games locations were paid. There are no outstanding payments to be effected. Yours faithfully, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, Director General, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana's Managing Director. For Ministry of Youth and Sports for Letana, on the Ben Run Sobra. GBC, Penini Chokrata way, Esanko Jina TV so, Ekasawiye pe, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, anyway, by they thought that GBC Managing Director, no, or your Director General, Abina appointed, no, to some didn't try, Papa Nintana Hodi, and tough watching draw. It's a wood sister, we need no one penny our friend Kaya. Clarification on the amount paid to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation for the coverage of the 13th African Games. You assume that we have the two in Abebachi. Now, contract now, Ministry of Youth and Sports, GBC signing, you know, more farmer Felix and Mapo. Or posting in a package, posting in our online. Facebook or Fago. We refer to the Public Accounts Committee sitting on Monday, 19th August 2024, where the Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, led the National Sports Authority and the National Youth Authority, two agencies under the ministry, to respond to issues raised by the Auditor General. At a sitting, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram constituency, Honorable Samuel Nate George, asked a public interest question regarding the payment to Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC for their production and broadcasting services rendered at the 13th African Games, to which the Honorable Minister responded that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million. Go up. The Minister's attention has been drawn to comments made by the Director General of GBC, Obeka Papana Tujem. Opesa abani yinedi. They said I can say Papa ne dintro to your pam professor. Said a cabinet minister we can through a chain say no who bebenyam but emfa. Stating that they did not receive the said amount. We wish to make the following statement to clarify the issues. Afe ministry nana account tieniye. A. The Ministry of Youth and Sports through the local organizing committee received proposals from various stakeholders for the production and broadcasting rights for the 13th African Games. Question number 1 about point A, and it said, who were the said various stakeholders and who are those who wanted the broadcasting right apart from GBC? Publish the names. We want to know. I am daring the ministry to publish the names. If a cousin of the president's company was not part of it, I am daring the minister, if his friend was not part of the bidding, publish the names. Nonsense. I am daring the ministry to publish the stakeholders. I am standing here and asking and saying that the Ministry of Youth and Sports should publish the names of the proposals they received. They are from which company and from who? We want to know. Now I'm daring the man in this house. Call me again this morning. I'll give it to you and go away. Nonsense. Some organizations submitted proposals in excess of 6 million. But from Patrolman, I'm trying. Me mami agi. Otoniema o mankasim. Provision store. Na mami wo. Agi 6 million. O papa kwa kubi chairman na dema asa trosha. Which the ministry deemed excessive. Tenye. The ministry deemed excessive. Yefanto. Me say companies na. A cancer or pay right, Ministry of Youth and Sports, publish it. I had a whole somebody here in this house calling himself a big sportsman, calling me and telling me his peace of mind that it is not true. Nonsense. What do you say at Samu? Yeah, also, the ministry, in its quest to build local capacity, and leave a legacy after the 13th African Games, engage the GBC to become the official broadcaster for the Games. Honestly, so engage GBC to become the official broadcaster for the Games. The other reason for the ministry's decision was that GBC's financial quotation for production and transmission was the lowest. I didn't know one man of production. No. If his say GBC didn't know firm at 6 million. And then the 3 companies now was no. One I demand one say 1 year jubano. I am daring the Minister of Youth and Sports. Come out. Abai we omo thieves, abai we omo ya krofo. And I am prepared for any rubbish. The other reason for the ministry's decision was that GBC's financial quotation for the production transmission was lowest, with the understanding that GBC will use the services of third parties to assist them implement their obligation. The total agreed amount was 3.6. So the minister forgot 3.6. Let's assume the 3 million excess of 3 million is the 6. Oh, erade yankopon. When so makuma mu adakro meka asem bia ebeya asem. Subsequently, an agreement was reached between the two institutions, the ministry and GBC. Kosoro. Some ministry, no, they will come back to tell you, say, a ministry of justice and attorney. Troto, they will come back to tell you that. Me sorry mbiye manon kasawo. Me do nyame se present a bia ni Ghana Home Information Chairman. Opa jidi upa jai. Cause me di me be yie en wi nipa nkum nipa. Me di me be yie ye madwuma. Patron bra from biom kakra ansa. Wako last paragraph we. Enti kan ho ni biom subsequently F final 2-3. An agreement was reached between two institutions, the ministry and GBC. No state institution can enter into an agreement with another institution which goes beyond $500,000 without the consent of the Ministry of Justice and Attorney. They will come back. From the total amount, EF, G. Don't forget that GBC said they were paid only 105,000. Ministry now quoted 6 million. Omabe ended up at 3.6 after G from the total amount of 2.5. From the total amount of 2.5, was paid directly. $2.5 million was paid directly to GBC in 2 tranches. 1 million and 1.5 on 13th March 2024 and 22nd May 2024 respectively. Another amount of 1 million was paid to third parties. Who are the third parties? Who were they? I am daring the Ministry of Youth and Sports, come out and tell the whole country the names of the third parties. Meche Afredo, Soni Solo, Sapejane Bebaha, Wamu Beba Betomi was stage in Suha. And ne, Wamu Beba Betomi ha. Afredo catch them and say, Captain Jack, and I said, when you're crab, be a sensi, Afredo Beba Betomi ha ne, me donya me. Another amount of 1 million was paid to third parties. Third parties in Wamaya, and yet third party, and yet TY, and IES. Wamaya Dodo was saying, I want to know, Sir President Kazim bin Kamwa. I want to know, Sir Minister of Youth and Sports, Nadam for bin Kamwa. I am daring you, come out again.